Good morning, everyone. This is Dan and Lee Rodden. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not Dan Rodden today. You're not Lee Rodden today. Who are we today, Miss Lee?
Dan the Zoo Man.
Dan the Zoo Man. And
Lee the Zoo Mom.
And what are we doing?
We're trying to get people out of some kind of box.
Out of the zoo.
Go out of the zoo.
We're trying to figure this all out.
I know we're trying to get them out of somewhere.
The zoo is putting you in a cage, and the monkeys are outside.
Oh, okay.
So, and we have a picture of this, but and with our monkey and us in the cage, and but we're trying to get it on our head. So this is what we're doing. We're going to see how...
Wait a minute, it's my turn.
No, Camellia or whatever, Chameleon or whatever. That's for later, Miss Chameleon.
Who was that?
I don't know. Who was it?
Some obnoxious person.
So, okay, the news today was very interesting, and we're going to contrast the Drudge news with the rest of the news. Actually, we could say now Drudge and CNN are the same.
Yes, pretty much.
Pretty much. We review a lot of stuff. We started late last night during the debates, but it's amazing. But I think one of the key things, is how the liberals and the left or the communist or the socialist, they're all the same thing now.
There's a lot of names you can call them.
They're now...
No, I should define... It's not names you call them. It's names to define them.
Define them, yes.
We're not calling them names.
No, we're not calling them names. The idea is that the left is now trying to have an insurgency and overthrow the Constitution.
Okay, just wait.
No, Camellia, you gotta quit. You gotta quit, Camellia. This time is up. Excuse me. You know.
Is that obnoxious?
I don't know who that person was. She's. Excuse me.
Oh, gosh.
It was so irritating. But the Drudge Report, first of all, if you read the articles, it was all positive or negative?
All of the articles were negative.
Except
for one thing.
Well, here's what's interesting, and this is why I want people to leave the Drudge Report. It's time.
It is
because
time,
they
sadly.
have left constitutional conservatism.
Wait a minute.
No,
like
Camellia,
me.
you got to quit this, Camellia. You're interrupting. You're being rude.
Mm.
And but what was it that was? So the articles were negative on Drudge, but what was the positive thing?
Drudge did a poll saying who won the debate.
Okay, and it said Camellia, right?
No, it wasn't me.
You know, it was.
Pence won by 70+%. I think it was 72%, and Kamala was 28%.
And that's kind of what
That's just people that read his.
As I read through the news today, that pretty much that's consistent with what I saw. So people,
except on CNN.
Except CNN. So you got CNN Drudge. Now you have CNN Drudge. It's like one thing, and they're both not good. So, anyway, it's like what it is, right?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Let's see. I've got this new system we're trying today, and one of the things it does, let's see what this is. I think it's laughter, but I can't hear it.
Oh, well, so we don't know if we're laughing
or
not.
So it shows up, but I think I'm not hearing it. We're going to see how that all works. We're experimenting with something new today. So anyway, this one article I thought was really significant and had a lot to say. It was the American Thinker, and the American Thinker is a really good place for you to get your news.
It is. It's thinking news.
It really is more commentary, but it kind of helps you. And they really point out how the left is using fear. And that's all they have. Well, what does the Bible say about fear from a biblical economic perspective?
There's a lot of, I don't know if it's fear that's in there 365 times of do not fear, but there's a lot of verses about do not fear, do not be afraid, things like that.
Well, a very key one says you have not a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and sound judgment. Or sound mind, depending on what translation. That word is different in different translations. But not having fear is key. Now, it doesn't mean you never have fear. God created fear.
Wisdom is to know what time it is, right?
But the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Mm-hmm. So the whole idea of a biblicist or a biblical economic,
it's not scary.
No, Camellia, you're
no,
just
scary,
you got to quit this, Camellia. You're way out of line today. But the fear is just a horrible thing.
And it's like, where's my food going to come from? Am I going to get kicked out of my house? Are my kids going to have clothes?
And the Bible...
Is my car going to keep running?
And the biblical economic is always based in those God will supply those things.
Yeah.
Now, we don't always know where they're going to come from.
Yeah, they're surprised a lot
of times. And that's where Democrats play on that fear because you can't know. And sometimes those things are supplied temporarily. And sometimes it's a little more permanent. But everything material in this world is temporary.
Yes.
So that's why we don't...
Can't take it with you.
We don't, and that's a phrase everybody knows. Everybody says that. Can't take it with you.
Can't take it with you.
Well, I can. The Bible says that if we'll store our treasures in heaven, and there's 5 things, and we're going to do those someday. The 5 things are rewards that we get in heaven.
You know them briefly off the top of your
head? I do not. I don't ask that question. I can't remember. I'm working on that. I haven't memorized all that yet. But
okay, so anything else in the news besides fear?
Well, I just think the whole attack on Trump, they're saying he's not done anything. If you in the Washington Times today, they were saying that there was a news article, and this is Trump. Iran frees a rights activist after 8 years in prison. That guy was imprisoned under Obama. They didn't do anything. And this isn't the first one.
No, there's a lot of other ones.
That's why, here's something Trump did.
I thought in the debate last night, I think Vice President Pence brought up about the lady that was murdered over there, and I'm blank on her name now. Her parents have spoken out a lot.
Yes.
And Harris had no reply to that.
Oh,
there was nothing she could
silent.
say.
She was
nothing
silent.
she could say.
But also, Dinesh D'Souza jumped in last night.
Oh, good for him.
And he's promoting his Trump card movie, and we really recommend people either go see it or get it and watch it. You can get it.
Is that what it's called? Trump
It's
card?
called Trump Card, yeah. It's a tremendous documentary.
Yeah.
And no one should be surprised that Camellia asked a race-baiting question during... And see, when they don't have anything else to say, it's always a race-baiting question. That's how they do it.
Yep.
So,
and I just want to put in here, if you think a documentary, people think, oh, documentary, dry, dull. Dinesh D'Souza does amazing documentaries, and they are not boring, and they go fast, and you learn so much from them. So, highly recommend you go to see this one if you can find a.
Well, he's also got a mainstream movie out about a man who was arrested, I think, in Afghanistan. I can't remember the country. I want to go see it.
Oh yeah, it's like a drama.
Yeah, it's
not a documentary.
It's not a documentary.
Based on historical.
I don't know what do they call those when it's like a movie.
Docudrama? I don't know.
No. It's not a it's a story. It's like a movie about.
It is a movie.
I know but it's not a documentary. Okay, you don't know the answer. But does Camilla know?
Maybe, I don't know if I know, but I'm watching non-talking now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I'm speaking now.
Okay, so anyway, they're talking now about, and this is so clear how Biden is just a fearful person. See, not only do they try to spread fear, they live in fear.
Oh, yeah.
Biden wants to do a virtual debate. He's afraid. And I think this shows everything. We don't want a president that's afraid.
He's going to hide all the time.
That's why Trump came out and said, don't be afraid. Yeah. And he says, we have some new drugs now. We have some things that can overcome this. Now, overcome meaning that if you're under 60, 99% of the people survived that got COVID. And over 65, which are really a higher number, died, 95% died. Survived. So we have a situation in which most people are surviving already, but now we have drugs to even improve that.
Yeah.
So it's awesome where we're going. So is Camilla doing okay?
I don't know. She's quiet for right now.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to look at the news.
Okay.
When I'm looking the other way, you got to fill.
Well, here's one thing. Chris Christie, he's still in the hospital now.
Oh, really? Christie's in the hospital?
Yeah, he was the last I saw. You look at Chris Christie, he has many of the factors that are not good when you get coronavirus or COVID-19. You know, he's overweight. I would imagine he has diabetes. So sadly, he's still in the hospital.
Well, the red state said that Mike Pence destroyed Kamala Harris.
Is that a news source?
That's a news source.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen things like that, too. That he looked presidential.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that was one of the things we found in
Come on, you better realize that I'm speaking now.
Yeah,
is
Camilla.
The person that's going to take over.
He'd probably be
for
the
Biden.
Be the president. So
gosh, and she's just not only is she obnoxious, but she really doesn't know anything.
Yeah, she's really just she doesn't.
Talking points, and that's it.
Yeah. So anyway, I just lost my thought.
You were looking at the red state.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know what.
I'm sorry.
Something.
What? Fill in, Miss Lee.
I can't think of anything.
We're both going blank here today.
Oh.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see. What else did I read today? I just looked at Drudge to see how Drudge was, and it was just, the whole thing of everything was.
Oh, I thought
this is bad news.
I know where I was going, and we don't have a lot of time. That's why I was trying to do it quick. We found a new source that is interesting commentary and news.
Oh yeah.
And you remember the name?
First TV.
Yeah, you can download the app even on what is it? Your system is
Kindle Fire.
Kindle Fire. I have a Kindle Fire.
Yeah,
I can hardly download anything that's worth anything.
Except books.
Except books, yeah.
But you can get this, and
Kindle Fire,
a lot of different,
and it has a lot of things. And
on there.
What they've done, they've organized. A lot of people have been disenfranchised by the left news media. They've organized the conservatives that are true conservatives, and they have Bill O'Reilly as their lead. And I think that's important.
And I believe
he's the old guy.
The Right Side Broadcasting.
Yeah, well, Right Side Broadcasting is one of the ones that came.
In connection with
we
them.
followed them for a long time because they just gave you the news.
Yeah.
But
and they go to all the events and.
Now they have commentators, and they also have Bill O'Reilly. So I think that gives you. And Bill O'Reilly was the number one on Fox.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him. I thought, what is he doing on this last
For
night?
8 years, he was number one on Fox. So what we have is we have them building a coalition or building a network that I see could take over what Fox used to be.
Yeah.
Because Fox is slipping too. There's still some good things. But just in conclusion, and we have a minute 27 seconds here. In conclusion, that what is so key is I'm doing too many things, and I'm losing my train of thought when I do all these things. I have too many.
Here's the thing. I think you got to keep talking to your Democratic friends.
Yes, keep talking.
Keep giving them information. I posted something on Facebook yesterday. My real hardcore Democrat friend said, "What are you doing? Talking about Bernie Sanders now?" I said, "I am trying to keep feeding you information so you won't vote Democrat." He's an old friend.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of debates, but he is a hardcore
And he
Democrat.
wanted to call you names and everything for a long time, but now he's starting to dialogue with you.
Right.
And that's what you got to break through. The name calling is just a smoke job.
Yeah.
And don't worry about it. But I thought last night during the debate, Trump wasn't debating, but Trump was tweeting all the way through.
All the way through.
Every issue, he tweeted a new tweet. And he ended up that Trump won. Well, anyway.
Pence won last night.
Or
Pence well, they both won last night.
So anyway, Miss Lee, it's been really good knowing you.
Wait a minute, I'm still speaking.
No. Oh, I know. I forgot. It's Camelia. Okay, I'm going to try this little sound. We're going to see how this all. Oh, they cut me off. We're going to see how this is working. We have a new system, and we have 3 seconds, and we're